Meta just released their Meta Ray-Ban display AI glasses, and it's probably the best product Meta has ever made. But today we're not going to be looking at the capabilities, but we're going to be looking at the terms of service because they are straight out of a Black Mirror episode. What I found were a couple of things with regards to training and some hyper targeted ads as well. So let's look at the training on your media first. In the terms of service, it says that when using Meta AI, which is like the ChatGPT function of Meta, when you're looking at stuff, for example, Meta will save your audio recordings of your voice to improve Meta products. Well, how does it do this? It stores text transcripts and audio recordings of your voice interactions. And it will even store voice recordings if you unintentionally activate a voice interaction. If you turn it on by accident, it will also store the voice recording. It doesn't only do that when using Meta AI, but it also does so when you're shooting videos, for example. So let's say you're recording your friend's birthday party. You don't want to be on your phone, but you just want to use the glasses to stay present and record a fun little video. It is also able to use that data because the terms of service include the content that you create in order to improve Meta's products. You give us permission to store, copy, and share them with others, such as Meta company products. Well, what are those other products? As you may know, Meta has a text-to-speech model. And Meta also has an image generator, a movie generator, and an image generator, as I said. So by using these glasses, you basically give them permission to use your voice and use the videos and photos you record to train all of these Meta AI systems. And here comes the freaky part. It's not just things you say when recording your voice, but as well as any background sound that happens when you're interacting with our voice services. So what could that look like in practice? Here's an image of Zuckerberg using the live translation feature on these glasses, which is really cool. You can just talk to someone in a foreign language and then it will translate it for you. But let's just think about this for a second. Let's say I'm using these glasses on my holiday to Spain and I want to talk to this old Spanish man that I'm having a conversation with. Now, Meta is not only able to use and train their AIs on my voice when using the glasses, but it will also use the voice of this Spanish man that I'm talking to, because it will also record any background sound that happens when you are interacting with our voice services, which is pretty wild. And you may think, but the Spanish man never gave permission to use his voice. How can that possibly be? Well, look at this. By using the Meta product, which are the AI glasses, you are also responsible for complying with all applicable laws, including providing any notice to or obtaining consent from other individuals who you interact with on your Meta product. Which basically means before you go into this live translation mode with the Spanish man, you have to tell him, hey man, I'm just using my Meta glasses. Would you mind being recorded? And would you mind that Meta trains their AI on your voice? Because that's basically what's happening here. It will just be able to train their AIs on the people you're interacting with. So yeah, live translation is cool, but you have to let everyone know that your Meta will potentially use their voice to make their systems better. Very cool. And what about recording videos? So let's say you're at a birthday party like this woman is, and yeah, she's celebrating. And again, she doesn't want to use her phone. She just wants to live in the moment and record a cute little video of what's happening. So she's recording her friend, as you can see right there. And what will happen with the footage? Well, that footage might end up in Meta's movie generation systems. And companies can and do pay Meta to create advertisements with those with those movies. So by recording your friend's birthday party, he might end up in a Coca-Cola commercial, which is pretty astonishing if you ask me. But this is not all. There's more. You also get hyper targeted ads. So, what does that mean? How do we use your information for Meta wearable products? It includes ads and commercial content. So, that means that everything that you're looking at, because you can just ask Meta, what is this soda water brand, for example? Everything it sees or hears when you're on your video calls or when you're talking to someone, it will be able to use that information as well as your location to give you tailored ads. Well, look at that. And something we haven't discussed yet is the Meta wristband. So this Meta wristband is filled with all kinds of processors. So you can use this to basically use your hands to give commands to the glasses. So you can swipe and you can type and you can even write, which is all pretty cool. However, this thing is basically picking up information directly from your brain. So they are called electrical muscle signals, but it basically just picks up any information that's sent from your brain to your arms. So let's say we combine all this data. It knows what you're seeing, it knows the conversations you're having, what you're talking about, but now it might also feel if you're stressed. If you're stressed, your signals may reflect that. So it can use that for advertisements, right? So it now knows you're having a very bad day, you're sad, you're not feeling good. So what does it do? Maybe it will show you an ad for BetterHelp. It will show you, hey, look at this surface. Maybe you need a therapist to offload your bad feelings. Or it will suggest you a bar. Maybe this guy could use a little pick me up. Maybe he could use a drink. So he's having a bad day. Why not show him an advertisement of a bar? I'm not saying they will, but based on their terms of service, they absolutely can. I think we've established that they collect an incredible amount of data. But what happens with all this data? Well, all this data is stored. Some of it is stored indefinitely, such as the media, the videos and photos you record. The voice recordings are stored for about 90. Voice recordings are stored for a year, and the accidental voice recordings are stored for 90 days. But what happens if Meta loses all your very highly personal data? What happens when Meta loses the video of the birthday party, or what happens with the information that you're having such a shitty day? Well, if it does lose it, you can basically do nothing. By using these glasses, you're basically saying whatever happens, you cannot sue Meta. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is a $799 Trojan horse. You help it to collect all this data, and then it will use your data to create videos, to create AI voices, to create AI images, to produce very tailored advertisements. And when they lose your data, there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, pretty spooky stuff there. And yeah, I'm very curious to hear what is your opinion on these findings. Would you still want to use one of these glasses yourself? Please let me know in the comments. And also, if you prefer reading, I also wrote a Substack article on this topic, which I will link below. For now, if you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing the video because it really helps the channel out a lot. And I'll see you next week.